joining us on the program. I'm Amarachi Ubani. We begin with bilateral relations and economic relations between Nigeria and Germany are deepening as the German Foreign Minister Johann Wattpol leads a strong business delegation to the country. Mr. Wattpol is on his third visit to Africa this year and says Germany wants to work together with Nigeria, one of Germany's most important trade partners. They say there are no permanent friends nor permanent enemies in international relations. But for Germany, Nigeria is a friend it intends to keep close because of its strategic importance to the continent of Africa and Europe. Germany's Foreign Minister Johann Wattpol re-emphasized that importance when he highlights the main reason he is in Nigeria.
Trade and investments are key pillars of our partnership. I'm therefore particularly pleased to be visiting Lagos today, together with a German business delegation, in order to deepen our economic ties even further. Energy is an area in which we can significantly promote our cooperation by building on existing German-Nigerian energy partnership and on the work of our H2 Diplo office. The conflict around the Strait of Hormuz is once again demonstrating the important role Nigeria can play as a reliable energy supplier to the democratic world.
And while countries of the world are doubling down on immigration laws, Mr. Wattpol says Germany is making room for more Nigerian students who wish to study in the country.
Nigerians' young and dynamic IT talent has the potential to become an important partner for Germany's Mittelstand, a beautiful German word well known worldwide. We are closely working together to address the challenges of digitalization and demographic change. Many of our cooperation projects focus on skill development and job creation for the youth.
Members of Mr. Wattpol's delegation are German business executives, either already invested in Nigeria or here to begin partnerships.
What we're doing with the Nigerian government is we create a digital backbone for their national electrification program, so that they know where there's about 80 million people in Nigeria who don't have access to modern electricity. And the question is, how do you best reach them?
I'm in Nigeria because I think that the technology we are providing, which is to monitor large infrastructure like roads, pipelines, train tracks, can be very beneficial for Nigeria. And we would like to expand possibilities of cooperation with local construction companies in Nigeria to help them to make their constructions last for many, many years to come.
It's a full couple of days for the German delegation, which intends to discuss other issues such as regional developments, peace and security, and economic integration for Nigeria and for West Africa. Staying with bilateral relations, China has reaffirmed its commitment to Nigeria through a brick-and-mortar initiative for vulnerable children. The Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in Lagos, in collaboration with the Chinese community, held a groundbreaking ceremony for the China-Nigeria Friendship Orphanage Home in Shagamu, Ogun State, which will provide shelter, learning resources, and a safe environment for orphans and other vulnerable children in the community. Speaking at the ceremony, Chinese Consul General to Lagos, Yan Yuching, said the project reflects the compassion of the Chinese community in Nigeria. Construction of the orphanage is expected to continue over the coming months as part of efforts to deepen people-to-people ties between Nigeria and China.
So this school construction project is a tangible expression of compassion and the charity of the local Chinese community. We have been working in unity to pool the strength of our compatriots, spreading deep affection and goodwill across Nigeria, and putting into practice through correct actions our original aspiration of boundless love and the mutual understanding among peoples. The completion of this school will provide a safe and comfortable learning and living environment for local children who were once left alone and without support, illuminating their path of growth with the light of knowledge and warming their heart through friendship.
Diplomatic relations now. Nigeria's High Commissioner to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Jeremon Manwe, has formally presented his letters of credence to President Christine Kangalu of the Office of the President of the Capital or Port of Spain. The High Commissioner was accompanied by Deputy Head of Mission Martin Eze and Minister Counselor at the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Angie Dankaro, who witnessed the ceremony. The presentation of letters of credence is a long-standing diplomatic tradition that formally marks the beginning of Head of Missions accreditation. Matters of mutual interest were also discussed before the High Commissioner's departure. Meanwhile, Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Shola Enikolaye, has reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to deepening collaboration with Nigerians in Diaspora Commission to strengthen diaspora engagement, formalize remittance flows, and address challenges facing Nigerians abroad. The minister made the pledge while receiving the chairman and chief executive officer of NIDCOM, Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, and her management team during a courtesy visit to the ministry in Abuja. He reiterated the ministry's commitment to President Bola Tinubu's 4D foreign policy of democracy, demography, diaspora, and development, explaining that development remains the top priority because of its direct impact on the lives of Nigerians through job creation, infrastructure, healthcare, education, and poverty reduction. The minister commended President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, describing it as the driving force behind Nigeria's development. Now it's the summer holidays, and for families where to maximize their naira is topmost priority. That's because kids are at home this season, aren't they? And you have to keep them busy. So it's a long holiday, and in as much as you want the kids to participate in summer school, you also want them to relax as well. So what do you do when the economy in your pocket is not corresponding with your dreams? Travel agent Uche Chinonso is here with the answers, or at least some of them. Uche, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and I'm sure that you're really happy that this is your season, isn't it? Lots of travel plans that people have spoken to you about, and you're planning as well?
Yes, a lot of them are coming up, and with, like you said, like with the dollar exchange rate issues, people are considering back home here to experience different destinations and take their family around.
Yeah, and I know that you know, people have been thinking about where to maximize the naira with the long holidays. What would you suggest for families, especially large families, that still want to, who have the habit of doing something during the holidays, where to go this season, especially within Lagos and perhaps within Nigeria?
Okay, so for Lagos, there are a lot of places to visit in Lagos, starting from Badagry to Lagos Island to Epe, to Ikorodu and other aspects of even the main metropolitan city of Lagos State. There is a lot of places to visit, to have the beaches, the resorts, the historical sites. So, but in most cases, planning for families requires planning, and that's where you have to consult people like us, certified agents and tour operators who have NAPTOP and NANTAN people they can, because it's not about the destination.
Yeah.
Is creating the experience for the family within their budget. So if we know your budget, we could also create packages that suit your budget and infuse experiences. Because I could actually bring people here, even some who have actually been here. But there's a way I can create the package, and you that work here
would be like,
oh my goodness, I never knew that we can have. So it's the experiences that supports whatever package that we'll do. So there are a lot of beach. We could go. Nautical Beach is there. Kaima Beach. I don't know if I should mention names.
Well, don't mention the beaches yet, but you've mentioned enough to make people interested. I know that some people may even be wondering, especially fathers, and wondering, are these vacations necessary? Are they important? How important is it for people to take time off and just relax and switch off all of their devices that connect them with the rest of the world?
I would definitely say it's important, not because it's my business, but people who have experienced vacations would know that it's not even important, it's addictive, because it takes you off, for the children, it takes them off from the classrooms and give them real practical experiences of life, the culture, the geography, and the experience. And most times, if you hear your children come back from school, you say, oh, my friends went here, they say this place is like this, is like that. They want to experience all of those things they hear from stories, from their teachers, and have a practical feel and experiences of all of them, not just the children, even the adults.
Yeah, and I remember when I was much younger, when we would travel, when we used to travel to the village on vacation, and when we come back, my mother would make us write a comprehension.
What your experience of what
how I
happened
spent my last holiday
in the village.
And know?
This is what most of us look up to growing up, to share those experiences both in classes and to our friends. And most of us were able to pick up careers and dreams from vacations.
Yeah, but how important is it in shaping a child's future? It's not just about being able to relax. As you said, there's a lot to learn outside of the classroom.
Yes.
So how important is it for a child to travel? How does it expand the child's mind so that he's even more knowledgeable than children who don't travel?
I will give you a practical experience. I've taken some families to the art and craft market, and you see children flowing the artisans on what they are doing. You can see the real time, them imagine, even asking questions at that moment. Oh, can this be done? Oh, this and I see like this. So most times, them having a practical feel and seeing most of these things expands their mind at real time. And in the era of internet, people are locked up in their homes. Schools don't have playground again, don't have studios and all of
playgrounds now.
So now, when these kids come out, like the last summer package we had in Badagry, we had for kids, we had for adults. So the children, when they came there and heard the stories of our history and all of that, you could see them asking real questions. In fact, one wrote a letter to me after the tour and said, sir, can I bring my friends to this place? Because all the things we read from book and watch in the movie, I saw it and I cried. Can I be a pastor or a priest? That's what she said.
Wow. A pastor?
Or a priest.
Or a priest?
Yes. Because when she heard the story of people who made it possible to stop slavery, she said she wants to be a missionary.
Wow.
Yes.
That's life-changing, isn't it? So, for those who are planning the packages and who will be looking up to people like you and saying, okay, so we have 100,000, to spend on this vacation, what should be on their checklist as they plan, these vacations?
Okay, so if it's within Lagos or within Nigeria, so first, if you have your budget, which is the first thing, is the planning. Then the second thing is which destination. So the destination you're going to will not determine what you should have. So if you're going to the waterline area, so it requires the kind of clothes you're going to wear.
True.
If you're going to the south, it depends on what you're going to wear. If you're going to the north, because of their weather, it will also help you to structure and plan. But in all of your planning, the first thing
You didn't say food, though.
Okay,
I didn't hear you say food.
So food is very important, but we try to promote people to patronize the local market, to experience cultures and their food. So we don't necessarily tell people to carry their own food because we want you to explore food from those local communities. And if you have toddlers and children, definitely you're going to carry their own
What about
food.
those who are picky eaters?
Okay, so those who are picky eaters, we have rooms for apartments now. People can actually make their food.
Oh, okay.
Not just hotel. No hotel, you don't make your food. So we factor all of these things in when we interview the person, aside from the budget. So with all these health concerns and personal hygiene, we could also provide solutions to them.
Right, so people can find you on social media. You are Nonso, right?
Yes, Mr.
On
Nonso.
social media.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. I'm sure that lots of Nigerians now know they should be planning vacations and the importance of it. Thank you so much for coming on Network Africa. Welcome back. The WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus is urging African leaders to strengthen health systems and tackle root causes of disease as the continent seeks to reduce its reliance on external health funding. The WHO chief made the call at the African Union Extraordinary Summit on Health in Accra, Ghana, stressing that weak health systems and conflicts continue to undermine healthcare. He cited the Ebola outbreak in eastern DRC, where fighting has disrupted response efforts. Ghana's President John Mahama also called on African leaders to break with decades of dependence on external health assistance, saying the continent must lead its own health transformation and shape its own future. The African Union says AIDS-related deaths have fallen by 74% since 2004, but warned that those gains are increasingly at risk as external health funding continues to decline.
Today gives me great pride to see vaccines flowing from Dakar, to see messenger RNA sciences being catapulted from Cape Town, to see the head of Ghana's brand new vaccine institute go toe-to-toe with biotech strategists around the world, to hear the new facility for cutting-edge biologicals humming on the streets of Kigali. The African Medicine Agencies under Dr. Mimi Darko is moving from treaty to working instruments, and the strategic joint procurement and a continental active pharmaceutical ingredient strategy will give our manufacturers the boost they have been waiting for and they so long deserve.
The same challenge runs through maternal health, tuberculosis, malaria, neglected tropical diseases, and rising non-communicable diseases. These are not separate crises. They are one crisis. Health systems not yet strong enough to protect every person on this continent in our Africa. Conflict also makes this harder. As you may know, in Bunia, Ituri province, an Ebola outbreak is spreading amid active armed conflict, slowing contact tracing and keeping health workers from communities.
WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus and earlier John Mahama of Ghana. Public health workers in Kenya have staged a nationwide strike across all 47 counties, demanding permanent and pensionable employment for about 7,450 universal health coverage workers. Chairperson of the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, Peterson Wachira, says patients are paying the price for leaders' failure to act, noting that 8.9 billion Kenyan shillings have already been allocated to place UHC workers on permanent and pensionable terms, but county governments have yet to implement the plan. Healthcare workers are also warning the strike will put patient care at risk, while the government says it remains committed to placing them on permanent and pensionable terms. Unions say implementation has been delayed for years.
The reason that we have been on strike is because despite ourselves having demonstrated for more than 6 months and gotten a budgetary allocation of 8.9 billion to confirm the universal health coverage staff on permanent and pensionable terms, the governors have refused to do so. And we say the governors because it's very clear that it's the county public service boards that are supposed to do this. And so we will be asking CS Aden Duale that the UHC workers be confirmed under the national government, because the money is there.
We are asking the Cabinet Secretary for Health, the Honorable Aden Bare Duale, to prepare those letters of permanent and pensionable. As we leave this place, we are heading to MOH to collect those papers. Because what we are seeing between the Council of Governors and the health workers is play of cat and mouse, which we will not entertain.
Away from health issues now, 2 Ghanaians have petitioned the International Criminal Court to open a preliminary investigation into attacks on foreigners in South Africa, saying the violence could amount to crimes against humanity. According to reports, several African migrants have been killed, while others have been beaten and had their homes and shops looted. Tens of thousands of Africans have fled South Africa, many ahead of an unofficial June 30 deadline set by anti-migrant groups for undocumented foreigners to leave. Some African countries have also evacuated their citizens. Protesters blame migrants from other African countries for crime, unemployment, and pressure on schools and public services. The petition also accuses President Ramaphosa's government of failing to prevent or punish the crimes, including murder. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation describes the petition as opportunistic. In a follow-up to the Algeria wildfires, residents of Ouira have joined civil protection crews battling forest fires in El Hachimia as flames tear through agricultural land and kill livestock. Algeria's Transport Minister Syed Sayoud says security investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the fires and whether they were sparked by natural factors or criminal acts. He adds that about 160 fires have been recorded across several northern provinces. Authorities have also evacuated residents from areas threatened by forest fire in Seredi, Annaba province, and cleared the local hospital as flames approach. Earlier, the Interior Ministry confirmed 6 people were killed in fires across several Algerian provinces. So Beijing is embracing Africa as the How African Wildlife Specimen Museum opens to the public, marking 70 years since China established diplomatic ties with its first African partner, Egypt. The specialized museum features exhibits exploring Africa's wildlife, ecosystems and biodiversity, recreating savannas, forests and wetlands. Visuals displaying on your screen show animal specimens arranged across immersive landscapes. The museum says its collection represents more than 100 African animal species and uses 360-degree panoramic projections to bring the continent's natural environments to life. Meanwhile, the student from Ghana studying at Beijing Language and Culture University shares her experience during her visit, saying it's her second time at the museum because of its unique exhibits, particularly the parallel hall, which showcases fossils dating back millions of years.
I came here the first time, but it was we didn't have time, so I couldn't look around well, and I decided to come again today because I loved it the last time I came. So yes, I came today again to see the place well, and this time I took my time to look at everything, and the place is really good and it's nice. They did a good job here. I think every part has its unique aspects. My favorite part would definitely be the exhibition hall 2 and the prelude hall. The prelude hall is the part where they showcase like some fossils from millions of years ago. It was exciting to see. And the second exhibition hall had the lions, the cheetahs, the zebras. I haven't seen them physically before, so this is actually my first time seeing them also. So it was nice. It was a nice experience. I like that place also.
Here's our fun fact before we go. Eritrea is one of Africa's youngest nations, gaining independence from Ethiopia in 1993 after a long and costly 30-year liberation war that shaped its modern identity. The country's Independence Day is celebrated every year on May 24, commemorating the official Declaration of Independence and honoring the sacrifices of those who fought for freedom. And now you know. Thanks for watching. I'm Amarachi Ubani.